I'm sincerely delighted to address the good people of Imo State on the outcome of the investigative committee set up by the Imo State Executive Council to look into the contending issues bordering on the administration of pensions in the state. As you may wish to recall, during my inaugural address on 29th May 2019, I declared my interest to embark on a wide range of reforms on the institutional framework for good governance in the state. This was with a view to achieving effective service delivery, ensuring value for money, and entrenching transparency in our governance processes. One of such frameworks was the Imo State Pension Board and its corresponding pension management system, which was afflicted with intractable problems and riddled with corruption. Sadly, we inherited 6 years of pension arrears and discovered inexplicable discrepancies in the total number of pensioners in both the states and 27 local governments. We received complaints on various forms of irregularities in the scheme from various pension beneficiaries and stakeholders. When we met to resolve the contending issues, we were confronted with conflicting information from various offices in charge of pension administration. Consequently, we could not ascertain the proper position of monthly pension liabilities in the state. As you all are aware, it has been my declared commitment to ensure that our senior citizens retire in joyful hope, live in dignity, and extended the courtesy they deserve. Accordingly, we set up an investigative committee to carry out a comprehensive audit of the pension administration system in the state. The main objectives of this action was to ascertain the actual number of pensioners in Imo State and to end the corruption and perennial cycle of verifications that have plagued the processes over the years. The terms of reference of the committee were, among other things, A, to determine all outstanding pension liabilities in both the states and local governments. B, to advise on the need for the establishment of an electronic database and digitization of the pension process in the state. And C, to provide the government with guidance on the desirability of transiting to the contributory pension scheme, CPS, which have been established in the federal level as well as various states of the Federation. My good people of Imo State, I am pleased to inform you that the committee has finished their work and on record time too. The State Executive Council have studied the report and the outcome satisfactorily deliberated upon and duly adopted. Their reports undeniably confirmed our fears. Some of the challenges were a dearth of information due to the absence of a reliable database as well as irregular payments arising from flawed data. Most times, the data were hastily cobbled up from a plethora of committees and subsequently carried conflicting information. As a result, the integrity of the available data was grossly compromised. There is also the issue of a failed attempt to establish an electronic database for pensioners through various consultants after so much financial commitment. Pursuant to their mandate, the committee undertook the extraction and analysis of 48,481 records comprising 28,658 from the Office of the Head of Service of the state and 19,823 from the local government pension board. After it had processed the records, the committee finally verified 24,431 pensioners. These were subsequently consolidated in a central server for the validation phase. It is very instructive that out of an initial monthly bill of 1,499,157,895 being accrual for state and local government pensioners presented to the state government as of May 2019, the amount has been trimmed down to 1,218,175,387. This entails a savings of 280 million 982,508 naira, or 18.7% per month. Consequently, a total of 5,728, or 30.34% of ghost pensioners in all were filtered out. At the local government level, at the same period, the amount of 683,817,451, representing accruals to 14,667 pensioners, was standing. After the excise, the bill came down to 536,677,591 for an adjusted figure of 11,846 beneficiaries. This represented a monthly savings of 147,139,860 naira, or 21.1%. Total number of ghost pensioners for local government stood at 2,821, or 19.2% of initial figure. Total savings for both state and local government pensioners stood at 428,122,368 naira. This represents the amount of state resources that would have gone into the drains without the necessary due diligence. These involved cases of duplication and overpayments engendered by wrong parameters, calculation errors, or deliberate falsifications. There were instances in which level 6 officers were earning pensions for level 16. Unfortunately, while the pensioners received pensions due them as retired level 6 officers, the dubious officers pocketed the rest. To carry through necessary processes, we have set up a machinery for the quick commencement of payments, which will commence today, Thursday, 17th October 2019. We're working with the banks to ensure prompt transmission of payments to the various pensioners. It will gladden you to know that the process also includes those who recently retired, indeed, as at July this year. Yes, indeed, as the months roll by, more people were hopping onto the retirement train. We are leveraging the bank's verification number BVN system, as well as online real-time payment technology. This is to ensure that beneficiaries are easily authenticated and will get their payments at the click of the button, directly and not through proxies nor surrogates. I am aware that a few but significant group of pensioners who are out of state or in the diaspora have not been captured because they could not be available during the exercise. However, I have directed that a unit be created in the pension board. This unit will resolve this type of cases as well as complaints that may naturally arise during the audit exercise. My good people of Imo State, besides the huge financial savings achieved from this exercise, I'm excited by the capacity we have built in the sector. 256 youths were recruited and trained from the 27 local governments of the state on the use of bespoke software developed specifically for the exercise. There were also another 800 ad hoc staff, all of them youths, from respective local government areas of the state, who have been trained in various skills and deployed in the process. The span of competence they have acquired include pension management, data analysis, document digitization, and biometric capture. Others include digital hardware management and support systems. We look forward to harnessing these youths into other useful departments, especially as government prepares to launch its e-governance platform. Some would also be redeployed to local governments to help them create an effective technology-driven pension data management system and the civil service biometrics capture exercise. Flowing from the adopted report of the committee, government has directed the immediate establishment of a credible database of all pensioners. The digital architecture has been made inviolable so that collected data would not be compromised in the future. Nobody will be able to add figures nor remove. Similarly, government is looking into the suggestion for the establishment of a pension board to manage the pensions of both states and local governments, in line with prevailing national and international best practice. Government will soon adopt the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS. Our goal is to establish a seamless administration and management of pensions in Imo State, achieve accurate computation of benefits, and build a secure data bank. We also hope that the payroll structure will be integrated with the government e-payment system. On the strength of the foregoing, I would like to appeal to all our citizens that the challenge of payment of a pension bill standing at over 1.2 billion naira monthly for the states and more than 0.5 billion monthly for the local governments are very enormous. This calls for sacrifices by all citizens. We are confronted with the necessity to source for the revenue to ensure a good life for our senior citizens. I therefore appeal to all our tax-paying adults and businesses to keep faith with our tax and revenue payments. Taxes to whom taxes are due, and revenue to whom revenues are due, are fundamental tenets enjoyed by the scriptures. In the same vein, public servants charged with the responsibility of stewardship over public revenue would henceforth face a greater scrutiny. To demonstrate our resolve, the present government, upon inception, adopted Treasury Single Account TSA system to curb revenue leakage. We're also instituting a regime of stricter revenue collection, accounting, and monitoring. It is not going to be business as usual. Indeed, the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. I would like to therefore express my profound gratitude to the members of the committee and the team of consultants for the great job they have done. I am aware that they rummaged through more than 48,000 files, which were at various stages of decomposition and sometimes at grave risk to their health. Some of these files had gathered rot and rust more than 4 decades ago. Very importantly, I was highly impressed by their setting up of mobile teams that traveled around the states to various nooks and crannies, including hospitals, to conduct verifications for pensioners hampered by the various forms of ill-health or disabilities. Words will fail me to capture the depth of our gratitude. I urge you all to take pride in the fact that you were part of the great effort to resolve the perennial problems of pension administration in our dear state. The last 8 years have been locust years for the people of Imo State. The harm done to state institutions and processes were enormous. However, as a people endowed with abundant human and natural resources, we're equal to the task of the restoration project. Our mission is to re-establish the apparatus of good governance, rebuild our infrastructure, and restore trust in government. This calls for our collective hard work, prayers, and partnership. Thank God we have begun, and the coast is getting ever brighter for Imo State. On this note, I thank you for your attention, and may God bless our collective aspirations. Imo, unke anyị niile. Ndewo.